Welcome, everyone, to the Silver Rush Podcast, Episode 5. And today's kind of our mega draft podcast, with the draft being in just 4 days from our recording. And we're both excited to know that. This is going to be a great podcast. Mitch, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm great. It's draft week. How could you get, how could anything go wrong on draft week?
Right. How could it? It's draft week. Let's get it, baby. We've been waiting for this. Been counting down, and we're here.
You're here,
bro. So the next video will be the recap of the draft.
Yep.
That's exciting.
And we'll see
That's really exciting.
Future stars are going to be a part of our Detroit Lions. So.
Yeah, and I'm confident no matter what happens in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's abilities. Brad Holmes is a phenomenal evaluator, and I'm super excited to see who we get.
Yep.
Oh, keep adding to this roster, baby.
It's going to be a great weekend. We're excited. But before we kind of get to our draft prospects, we're going to do two mock drafts today. One we're going to start the podcast on with no trades. We're going to end on another mock draft with trades, doing them both live. And then we're going to kind of go over our draft prospects between there, some of that we like at every position. But beforehand, we have to knock out two things that have happened since our last recording, which is the Jeff Okudah trade and the Jameson Williams suspension. So we'll start with the Okudah trade, and I kind of want your initial thoughts on what you think about what we got for him, and do you like it?
Yeah, so I remember I was actually working out before you're the one that texted me, because I got up for working out, getting ready for work, right? Haven't been on my phone, and I get a text message from you. I'm actually sitting in the same chair, and I seen you text me. I waited a couple minutes, and then I was like, because you sent me a picture and you said something. I was like, oh shit, something happened to the Lions. I'm thinking, bro, I thought you want to know what I thought it was? I thought we traded up to the pick 3 or something.
Something like
and we're about to take Will Anderson. Something good. And then I go on it and I see that picture you sent me. It says we traded Jeff Okudah for a 5th. I'm like, what? And every podcast I felt like I always talked about Jeff Okudah, bro. Like,
you love Jeff
loving
Okudah.
him.
Yep.
Yes, bro. We were 2 of his few fans that still believed in him. And so pumped, because, injuries and horrible Patricia coaching staff the first year. So I was like, he's going to develop, get better, and he's going to have a shot to earn another starting job like last year. He earned a starting job and to get better. And then all of a sudden, we traded him only for a 5th. And there was this one page that said that the Lions were ready to move on from him, but I didn't believe it because no one else said anything about it. So do have to give credit to that one page. They were right. But they said a 3rd, which obviously didn't happen. I would have liked a 3rd,
I was going to say, if I would have seen a 3rd, I wouldn't have been happy, but I would have been like, okay, they got a 3rd out of it. He has been great, but that 5th round pick, I think, is like, and paying for part of his salary. It's like,
it was like the Lions were just ready to move on from him. That's what it was. They wanted to cut ties, and he does get a fresh start. So I understand that, and that's cool for Jeff, but the thing is, some people overreacted to it. Like, outside of the Lions fan base, some people were like, thought he was a really good star corner already. And I think why I was so excited for him was his potential, not his production, because it hasn't been that great. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's barely played. And when he did play last year, the first half, he did some really good things, but then he really fell off, got benched. A couple of times got lost snaps in favor of Will Harris, which is never good. So, but I'm not hating on Jeff. I do love Jeff, and I hope he balls out, and I think he will. I think a fresh start. He gets to go over there with the corner in the same class, Terrell. What is his first name?
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. Yep. And he had a good rookie season. Second year was iffy. Solid year last year. And so you go. That's good for him. I would not be surprised if he balls out over there. But the Lions are ready to move on. I guess their mindset was like, look, let's just try to get something for him, because Brad mentioned it. He said something about we might have to do this down the line. So might as well give him a fresh start now instead of waiting until the middle of the season to do so.
Yeah.
And they clearly are just ready to move on. So they're like, let's just get something for him, I guess. I wasn't a really big fan of it. It wasn't one of my favorite Brad Holmes moves. But I try to understand it a little bit. Like, okay. I guess they were just ready for it to be over, because it did kind of, you wondered who would be the odd man out. I think it was just Jeff, because you got Cam, you got Emmanuel, you got Jerry still, and then you're probably drafting a corner. So you're like, okay, all of them have starting potential, so somebody got to be the odd man out. You can't just have 5 guys on the
Yeah.
roster. Someone's gonna be the odd man out. So
And CJ
Jeff,
Gardner-Johnson too, I think will play a lot of
yeah, and
slot.
he's gonna
And
be playing, yeah, exactly, in the nickel a ton. So it's like you won't have like if you didn't have him, you could be like, oh, well, we got at least 3 corners on the field. No, because CJ is gonna be playing most of the slot and nickel. So it's like not really. You got basically the outsides, and they'll play a little slot, but it's mostly gonna be CJ. We already know
yeah,
that. So it's like, yeah. So you really
it
have
hurt to
2 outside
see.
guys.
It did hurt to see it, but
Yeah,
I,
it
I
did
I
hurt.
hope I really hope he does good there because I like him as a player and as a
Hmm.
guy. And he never had anything bad to say about Detroit. I mean, I thought
No,
he was always professional, and
yeah.
and it's sad to see a top 3 pick, not work
Hmm.
out. But
Especially the prospect he was. I'm big on
yeah,
like coming into the league. Like I tell people all the time. People, there was this post. Who has been the best? A lot of drafts talk going on lately. Who's been the best prospect recently? Cornerback. And to me, it's Sauce Gardner and Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah's tape was damn near flawless, and he could cover, he could tackle. His footwork was what impressed me the most. I was like, this is why he's gonna have a long career at an elite level. And it just, you gotta. I'm so big on a lot of guys that bust out or don't develop right, a lot of times can be due to the situation and the coaching staff. That's what I'm big on, especially with quarterbacks. But with corners too, it's a hard transition. Not everybody's gonna come in like Sauce. Like that was historical. That doesn't typically happen really. Um, so yeah, Falcons again a great guy, and I like how professional Jeff was because Brad talked to him about it, and he wasn't he didn't throw no shade. Jeff just excited to have a new start, and
yep.
it sucks when you become a super fan of a guy like that. You're like, because I really did love Jeff. I mean, I went to
Yeah.
war for him.
You're
But
always
I mean,
liking him on Twitter and always talking good about him, and so
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we were
it
two
is
of the fans. Fans can be cruel, can be too much sometimes, but we were two of his in his corner. So hopefully he does well, and we'll see. I mean, maybe that 5th round can be something. I mean, just extra draft capital. I guess if you were like in the mentality like, okay, we're probably done with Jeff. We need to move on, cut ties now. I guess so.
yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with it. After after it happened, I was pissed, pretty pissed at first, but then I was like, I try to understand it from their perspective.
Yep.
So
Well, and then speaking of getting pissed and being
this is
upset,
a fresh pissed.
it was something. I was at work Friday and I get a notification. It was one of the accounts that I have their notifications on for when they tweet, and they tweeted and it said, "Well, this sucks," and I was like, "What happened?" And as soon as I
Yeah,
got on there and saw that, I was like, "You got like I was upset. I
and you got
yeah,
to stop breaking. You. I didn't know it until you text me it. So
I
I was
keep
in the
getting
same
texts
chair
from you.
again, doing my same stuff before work, workout, whatever. And then all of a sudden I get a text from you, and then I kind of let it be for a second, and then I look, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, bro. That was
Like and
crazy.
and there's two parts of this as far as how I look at it. I do think it's a really stupid rule where if he would have just crossed the street, he wouldn't have got suspended.
Hmm.
I think 6 games is a little harsh for
Hmm.
betting on some college sports, but at the same time, he does need to know the rules, and he should have known better. Um, and I don't know if things weren't laid out to the players or the coaches or whatever, because it wasn't just him. 3 other
Yeah.
players, some faculty. So I don't know what's going on there, but him being out, Jameson Williams being out is terrible. I think for the first 6 games, because now you lose that really speedy deep threat, especially with DJ Chark gone. I know that you have Khalif Raymond, but he's not tall.
Hmm.
Not that it's a big deal, but it's just when you don't get to see him much last year, and you expect this year to have him and St. Brown be the two-headed monster you're hoping they're going to be, and you're hoping that they're going to go in and just be great together, and they don't have any reps together really because he was out most of the year.
Yeah.
Now you have to wait another 6 games, which is not only taking reps away from him, but taking reps away from the offense. They're probably going to plan to use a little more with him out there. I mean, he changes the offense at least somewhat every week, just because
Hmm.
the
Just
player
because of
he
speed,
is.
period.
Yeah, and so it's aggravating. I wish there was a way where he could get it down from 6 games. I know there's not.
Right.
Um,
I was thinking
and
that too. Like I want
and,
him
and
to maybe appeal it, but They
just
said
no
there's like
doing
no
it,
chance because it's a rule. It
which
sucks
sucks.
though. It does suck because it's like it's so stupid because like okay, maybe they said he knew about it, but they said like maybe it wasn't just explained enough, like not thoroughly enough to these players. And because technically, the bet he placed perfectly within the rules of the NFL. And people thought you couldn't bet while you're in the NFL and outside leagues. No, that's not true. You can bet. It's just you can't be in the NFL facilities. And he
Yeah.
was in the lines when he placed the online bet, which is crazy. So if he's just across the street, no deal. No big
Nothing.
deal. That's why the thing is like 6 games is excessive. Like yes, he needs to know the rules. He needs to be more diligent. But I'm not like super pissed at Jamo. I'm more pissed at the stupid rule. I'm like, bro, it's just a
Yeah.
ridiculous rule. Like, are you? I mean, say, okay, fine, it's a rule, but 6 games, and then most of
That's
his guaranteed
ridiculous.
money could be gone. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's just that's why I wanted to bring that up because I do like he should know the rules and he shouldn't have done it. But
yeah.
I do think it's a stupid rule, and I do
hmm
think that 6 games is excessive. And
Like, give him
another,
2 games and a couple of fines. That's fine. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like 4 at max, but 6. My big thing is okay. Obviously it does hurt the team because he's a dynamic. What we think he's gonna be and what we see a little bit of last year. That does hurt our offense a bit. But I'm more concerned about his development because okay, at least he still gets training camp. But you're going to come to the season. The first few games, he wasn't probably going to blow up. He's probably going to need some time. Need a couple games to get going, and then become the receiver we really want to see in year 2. Because almost essentially his rookie year because he barely played. I mean,
yeah.
how many games did he play over 50% of the snaps? Like a few,
I don't even think he did once. Honestly, I don't think he
really?
played over
That's
50. I
probably
don't think
right.
so.
Because and that's the thing is like that's why he only had 80 yards. I mean, he wasn't
I
getting the
think I
reps.
think he probably played the most against the Bears or the Packers, but it still wasn't much. It was still
No.
like
Okay, yeah.
20 to 30% of the snaps. I mean,
Yeah.
but and another thing too, I want to say is I am getting mad at like he made a mistake, but I'm seeing fans just rip him apart. I'm like, do you want him to play here? That's gonna just make him
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
drive him away. Like you gotta stop ripping on the guy. He made a mistake. Have you not made a mistake at the age of 21?
And we need to get
Idiots.
off our high horses. Like these dudes are acting like they don't bet on sports. Like majority of us do. Like and the thing I was gonna say is before we get into that is um it just sucks about his development. I want those reps, he needs them. But he does have training camp, and we'll probably see him a ton in preseason. Training camp is the most important thing to me. Like I really
Yeah.
need young players need training camp because that's what it's like 6 weeks or something of practice basically every day. Those are tons of reps. So and then then he can come back after week 3 and practice, but he can't practice on the field. I read. I was like, oh, that's stupid. So, but my question is, when can he practice on the field? Are they going to make him wait until the week of the game? Because that's like
Yeah.
6 weeks without on-field practice.
I think I can't remember, but I remember with the Deshaun Watson thing this past year. I don't know how early on, but I know it was 2 or 3 weeks before the game. He was back. He was able to go out there and practice
Right.
on the field with the guys. So I don't know. I don't know when it will be for him, but I do know that he's not. It's not going to be like okay, it's Wednesday, week 7
Right.
before the week 7 game. I know he'll get to go up there a couple weeks
Good,
prior.
because he
I just
can't just
don't
have
know.
4 practices and then go out there and play 70% of the
No,
snaps. It won't work like that. So, but yeah, I'm bummed about his development, but I'm not writing the guy off at all. Like it
no
sucks.
way, no
Start of the
way.
career sucks. Injury. A suspension, a silly one. But like you said, the fans. Okay, since we drafted him, if you remember when we drafted him, fans started that day. Oh, he's not happy here because he didn't smile on his picture, and then they were like questioning if he loved the game of football. But you look at him in training camp. This dude, he couldn't do anything, so he's carrying around a football the whole time. He's playing pitch and catch with the receiver coach, throwing him the ball in the receiver drills because he wants to be part of it somehow, some way. And then the stupid social media stuff because he liked something on Twitter about Lamar Jackson, and then the Instagram post where he liked it, but people are stupid. It was a picture of him, and he literally
Yeah,
commented the
they didn't
second
scroll
picture.
over.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? And so they're making up shit. And now they have a real reason. Oh no, Jameson did this. So now they have a real reason to try to rip the kid.
Yeah.
Which
Well, and he didn't put his arm around Goff in the picture in California when they were all throwing together. It's like
it's
you're just so stupid.
just making
Every
up
one of you
shit.
are so stupid.
Yeah. They're just making up stuff. And it's like, bro, leave. And they're trying to just leave him alone. And they're trying to question his character. I'm like, why? Because he placed a bet within the betting rules in the NFL, just literally wrong place.
Right.
And so, no, the kid is fine. Like, got to know the rules a little more, but no character issues. Like, that's ridiculous. No work ethic issues. That's ridiculous. Kid loves the game, and when he comes back,
Mistake.
yeah, just a little mistake. I mean, like, yeah, fans are way too hard. And it'd be making me mad. I'm like, what are you guys? You guys need to calm down. Like, it's just weird. He's a free spirited kid.
We heart Jamo sign every game just so he knows that.
Right, honestly. But he's just a free spirited kid that enjoys life and loves football. Leave him the fuck alone. Just like when he was at the fight the other night. People comment on there.
Oh yeah, people are ripping him apart.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, leave him alone, seriously. So but hopefully he comes back week 7 and he tears it up. Maybe he needs a week or two, but at least he gets 11 games. Obviously, we won't see the best of Jamo until probably his 3rd year, but I mean, he'll get better in those 11.
But yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, I still think that this year we can see a really.
Oh, we will. Like, he'll get better. He has 11 games, and if we make the playoffs, that's even more. So he's going to get. That's still a ton of games. 11 at least games, guaranteed that he'll be able to get better. And even if it takes him, let's say it takes him 2 games to really get going, as long as he's getting the reps, which he will be, he'll by the time,
he'll be fine.
Yeah, end of October, he'll be ready to go as we get into that critical stretch. So we're going to have him for the biggest part of the season, which is late in the year. I don't care who we play. That's the most important thing is, November, late December ball. After Thanksgiving, really gets things get really going. So it's unfortunate. It's a little annoying and frustrating, but it's gonna be, it'll be all right. He'll come back.
What is at this point right now?
We just gotta wait even more. Like last year, we got excited when he came back at that first touchdown, and then this year will be even better because I can't wait to his first 100-yard game, and let's hope it's week 7. That'll be fun.
Yep, I know.
So,
I know.
But yeah, so now let's get into our first mock.
We'll get into the draft part of this, which is what we're hoping to do, and then some unfortunate news dropped. So
yeah.
So we'll get into we're going to be using the mock draft simulator on the mock draft database, correct?
Yep.
Since PFF not to pay, and I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So we'll go there. So this one we were going to do the just the regular no trades on this, so we're not going to do any of that, even though I'm sure there'll be some tempting options. But I'm going to get this going now. Again, I want to confirm you can still see me just because I have a new tab open now for this.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get started here. Again, I'll read the first 5 picks, and then we can kind of go through this. And again, still, I don't know who they're taking whatsoever.
Right.
Which is crazy to think about. All right, so see that trade comes up. I'm just going to click X on that because it's so tempting. Okay, so first 5 picks: C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Tyree Wilson, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Carter. So I believe that we would not even think about this pick, and we would just go with Will Anderson. But is there anyone else? I mean, obviously, I like Devin Witherspoon too.
Yeah, this is
if Will Anderson drops to 6, I'm sure that we would just want to snag him.
So back-to-back years, the NFL actually got mad at us because we turned the card in too quickly. Guess what? That's going to be 3 years in a row. As much as I love Witherspoon, yep, Anderson to me is the best player in this draft. And I was going to say, make sure the board isn't crazy, like coming off. Like, I seen a cornerback go 1. If we see that, we restart that. But this is...
I was going to say, I've done this a couple times where it will be like a cornerback.
Yeah.
And then and then something else where like C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are available at 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
come on now. Yeah.
So
this is possible though, because I keep hearing crazy stuff. The draft is so crazy. That's why I love it. There's a possibility of Wilson going over Anderson for the same exact reason that Walker went over Hutchinson, just off of these traits and stuff. So I'm like, yep, please let that happen. Let him fall to 6. And then Seattle, Carter makes sense. I could see them going Carter over Will Anderson, getting the interior guy. So, yeah, I think this is a no-brainer for us. We take Will Anderson, and we pair him with Hutchinson, and that's good luck. I mean, Rip the whole NFC
Yeah,
North.
that's gonna be tough to stop. All right, let's see who's going to be available. 18 then. So, all right, get those trade offers out of here. Okay, so here's who we got. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, a lot of corners gone. Sucks.
Who's the top corner
Okay.
available?
Well, it would be Emmanuel Forbes from
Really?
Mississippi State.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
Witherspoon, Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., and Banks are gone?
Yep. Banks was at 16 to Washington. Witherspoon was New England at 14. Porter was 10, and Gonzalez was 8.
Wow, that would be a crappy scenario for us. Cause I was about to say, I thought you weren't looking at Banks. I was like, Banks probably there. No.
Oh no, I would love Banks. That's what I was going to suggest. There,
Will Anderson and Banks? So. Oh, please sign me up all day. But
yeah, that would be awesome.
He's not there. Wow. So okay.
Here's all the next guys that they suggest. Okay. So they got Bijan Robinson, Will Levis is still there, Lucas Van Ness, Miles Murphy, Jordan Addison, receiver from USC, Brian Branch, Darnell Wright, Michael Meyer, Zay Flowers, Dalton Kincaid.
So here's what I propose. This is what tell me what you think. With this scenario, I would draft Bijan Robinson because
would you?
I think he's special. I know we have Swift, but the way Brad Holmes talked, after his press about the running backs and potentially taking one early, nobody blinked, nobody cared when we did it with Todd Gurley in Los Angeles, really St. Louis, but I think the talent. I think he could be the best back in football in a couple years. And then Swift, I don't know what's going to happen with Swift. I really don't. Contract year.
I definitely don't think Swift's here after next year.
Right.
The only thing that's stopping me from thinking we'll draft a running back that early is because we did give, Montgomery $6 million a year. And then this would be another 8, so that's $14 million to the running back position. But I'm not opposed because I do think he's awesome.
Yeah, I just like the value and the talent. But if you want to counter it, right now. I'm open-minded.
Now, the only one I was gonna say, and I'm sure you probably know based on my smile, was just gonna be maybe Will Levis because he's there 18, and I like the developmental quarterback type of thing. If they're gonna be a guy like that, because I'm not opposed to a quarterback, but also I think if he really liked the guy, he would have got him at 6. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of Bijan. I think that's much more likely than any quarterback slipping that far down. So we'll go Bijan at 18.
Okay. So we got our edge rusher. We got a potential superstar running back. And the thing is, even if Swift goes down, all of a sudden, you got Bijan. That is a crowded room, at least this season. But if we draft him, you got to think Swift might get traded.
Yeah. No, I think if we draft running back early on,
because Bijan doesn't have really injury issues, so he's going to be in there day one. But worst case scenario, you just have a loaded backfield. I mean, that's amazing depth. Just run the ball all the time. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop a team like that. So pick 48, the guys that are available. So we got Drew Sanders and Trenton Simpson, the linebackers from Arkansas and Clemson. We would not take B.J. Ojulari, I'm sure, because we already grabbed an edge, and that's already a filled room. Josh Downs, wide receiver from North Carolina, which now seems more like a need. And then the other 3 that I'm kind of saying that I like would be DJ Turner, the cornerback from Michigan. I also like I don't want to even try to pronounce his name, but the Thule
of USC,
whatever USC, yes. The D lineman, and then Cody Mauch from North Dakota State is an offensive guard.
What corners are available?
So DJ Turner, because we definitely need a corner. I think early on, Julius Brents, Clark Phillips.
Brents.
After that, you're kind of getting down in
I think Brents has a lot of potential. I think he could be a corner selected in the second round that can be one of the best in this class. So I really like him.
You want to go with him?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Okay.
That gives you.
When we need a corner, even if he's not going to play a lot this year, we need someone who's going to be.
And if I'm taking him over a Michigan man, he has to be good.
He's good. Yes. So snagged him up. Now with pick 55, Trenton Simpson, the linebacker, is still there. Josh Downs, receiver from North Carolina, is still there. And Thule T is what I'll say for the D lineman from USC.
Well,
That's probably where I would go. It's a lot of other D linemen. The other one I do like that I'm saying is Sam Laporta if we want to go with a day 2 tight
Hmm.
end.
Hmm. What do you think? I do like the potential of adding um Trenton Simpson, just because the potential's through the roof.
He's still
Stupid
there.
great athlete.
The three I like the most are the three that were still there at 48, which is um, him, Josh Downs, and Tulu
Mm,
T. Those are the three guys I like. I'm down for any of them. I do think that a wide receiver is a need, but if you want to go day or round 3, I wouldn't want to. I think I'd want to try to snag a guy in day 2 for wide receiver now.
yeah.
But I do think Trenton Simpson's a nice prospect to get in the late
What
second
about the
round. So I'm
interior
okay with.
line?
Well, I'll look right now. The one guy I liked last pick is gone. The next guy up, according to them, of course, is Luke Wepler from Ohio State. But I still think that you could probably get him next. Well,
Well, I
probably
meant
not. I
defensive
guess it is a
interior
pretty big
line.
jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you
sorry.
good. Should have cleared that up. Because I'm thinking, like, okay, we
Keanu,
need that. But I guess if the player is.
uh,
We're going to.
Remember
What you
Dexton?
say?
I was saying Keanu Benton,
Hmm.
Gervin
I
Dexter.
do like Benton from Wisconsin a lot.
Never.
Um, hmm. Some good options. Benton. Um, who was a Simpson? Ooh, that's tough.
We do need defensive linemen.
Well, I've had my big say in the last few picks. So, what do you really feel like? Because I could go any direction. I'm really pretty much happy with. Because
I
it'd
don't
be
know,
nice to touch
man.
a tight end, touch a receiver, get one of those guys in there. Be nice to get that defensive
Weapon.
tackle. It'd be nice to get a really good athlete at the linebacker position. Man, there's so many directions.
I mean, I do like Josh Downs from North Carolina as a receiver. I put him in, and I know we'll get to it, but in the players I like, he was in my day 2 for guys
Hmm.
that I like. Um, so I wouldn't mind snagging him here, but I also know defense is a pretty big need still. I mean, I know that a lot of the positions are filled up right now, but for future, if we're looking towards the future,
Right. Hmm. This is a tough one. Many great players available for this pick.
you know what? Radholm's been good at snagging some, I should say, a late round receiver. Let's go with either Trenton Simpson or your guy from Wisconsin,
Okay.
Benton.
You make the pick. You make the call.
I
You turn the
think
card in.
I think that D lineman is much more of a
You
need
said
right
what?
now. I think interior lineman's
Yeah.
much more of a need. I think that the Lions likely to have a
Yeah.
linebacker, so I think we'll
Yeah.
go with
And
Benton.
his upside is really nice. So I really like Ben.
Okay, all right, made it. So I do think that now though a skill position or a pass catcher is kind of needed.
So, okay, who's available? Tight end, receiver?
Sam Laporta is still
Mm,
available. I kind of
I do
like
too,
that.
honestly.
Marvin Mims, Oklahoma. But I think Sam Laporta being there in the third round is a nice spot to get him. I think he's
Yeah,
a
I do
good
too.
player.
And, replace an Iowa tight end with another Iowa tight end. So I'm down.
Yes, sir. He's just going to be a lot cheaper, and yeah, I
Oh,
think we
let's do it.
go that route.
Yep,
You
I
like
like
that?
that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think he would be there in the third when he was there in the second. So now we have a nice wait for another 60
Yeah.
picks. So I'm not sure. I mean, are there positions that you want to snag up now? Like, are you going by best player available now, or are you
We
going
probably
by
should stick
okay,
to.
this
I
guy's
mean, I
still
would like to
here
look at receiver
and
and linebacker, but if not, I think we still take the value because, you get Will Anderson, you get Bijan Robinson. We've basically been doing value the whole time. Anderson, Bijan,
I know
um, who was the third pick?
Brent's. I feel like Brent and Benton are and Laporte are
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like
Ben.
okay, they're good players. They have high upside and positions of need.
Yeah.
So, um, all right. So to start, by the way, it's a bunch of positions. I mean, we got. I don't know. We don't need Zach Kuntz, the tight end from Old Dominion. We don't need Corey Trace from Purdue. Sean Tucker, no. Um, Now this is more of a. And you tell me what I think. So Andrew Voorhees is here. And the only reason I'm bringing him up is because wasn't he supposed to be like one of
Mhm.
the top interior linemen to like tore his
Yep,
ACL at the combine?
he was one of my favorite in a weak class. I
What
liked him.
I mean, would you be open to picking him here, knowing he's not going to play this year, and knowing we have two guys that can play this year, and then next year he could possibly be that new starter who's a
100%.
monster.
And that's what I'm
Are you
hoping for. I'm
okay?
hoping he falls to the fifth round, and
Okay.
Detroit can grab him with one or two picks. To be honest, um,
So you want to get him then? I like that. Like that was my as soon as I saw him on there,
yeah,
I'm like, I think I want
I like
want to
that.
grab him. Okay.
That's what
I
I'm
think
kind of
that's a
hoping
good
for
pick.
in the draft, this weekend. Just like, okay, if he can fall to day three, man, that's worth it because he's really would have been probably a second round pick.
Yeah, that's what
So
I was thinking. So, all right. So now with our other fifth round pick, um, this is the one from. Wasn't this one from Okudah? Was that
uh,
152? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But Trey Palmer, the receiver from Nebraska, is there if we want to go receiver. Um, I don't really think we just grabbed a offensive interior, so we don't really need that. It's a lot of
any
corners I'm seeing.
linebackers that kind of pop out?
Uh, Ivan Ivan Pace
He's
from
solid.
Cincinnati, I guess. If you
Is
want to go
Texas
that way.
linebacker there
If you want to, I don't believe
over
so.
Sean?
Let me look.
Okay.
Nope.
Is J it?
After Ivan Pace, it kind of
Yeah,
drops off pretty. I mean, it goes down to Cam Jones from Indiana when that's a pretty big drop
yeah. I
off. I
like
feel
both
like.
Pace and Jones. But what about is Jaden Reed there from Michigan State at receiver? Wow,
He's not.
man.
Again, after Trey Palmer, you're getting down. You got
Hey,
Jarrett from Maryland, Ford Wheaton from West
what about that
Virginia.
receiver that I just seen? He's getting a lot of traction. Literally, like in the last, like I swear, 4 days. Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss.
Yes, I did see him. I don't
Yeah,
see him on here though. I saw what who
yeah.
you were talking
I
about.
figured he probably wasn't there.
So yeah,
Okay.
he's gone.
What do you think?
I I like Trey Palmer as a pick because I think he's more of a fourth round pick if he's there in the
Yeah,
fifth. I think
he's a
he'd
good
be a good
receiver.
spot and kind of position. So if you like that, I like that. I feel like looking at this draft board, it's been a different position every time at kind of a need too, and it's filling in nicely. So if you want to snag him,
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
I'm for it because that we do need to take a
Yeah,
receiver to help us with our depth big time and while Jamo's out. So Trey's a solid. That's a real solid pick in the fifth. Yeah, that's real solid.
yeah. All right, so we have two picks left, our two six-round picks. So, um, I'm still so I'm going to tell you what I think right now, just seeing it all available and what I was about to say
Hmm.
before this popped up. Um, I feel like we need to get a developmental quarterback. I'm always thinking that. I think a day three is probably more than likely, but I like a lot of the guys that are available right here. Um, and I also want to get Jake
Yeah,
Moody.
me too. So
So I
but
think
here's
we
the
can
thing.
snag
Here's the
a
thing. Even
quarterback.
if we signed Teddy Bridgewater, which I know we offered him a contract, and we're kind of waiting to hear from him, but even if we sign him, do you want to draft a guy like developmental project, maybe?
Yeah, I think regardless, I want to
Okay.
get a young guy in here. And so the guys that are available still, you got Dorian Thompson Robinson from UCLA, which I like. I like Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. I like Clayton Tune from Houston. Stetson Bennett's still there.
I
I don't
like the
know.
kid from UCLA.
I mean,
I think he has the highest
that's who I was
potential of
leaning towards
doing,
when I.
anything, even being just solid of the group. I like him.
Yeah, and he was there. He was there. Sorry, this is moving on me. He was there right when I was about to say I want to grab a quarterback, and I've always liked him, so I would be down for grabbing him
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, take him. Let's do it. And then we'll finish the
Okay.
mock out by getting Jake Moody.
Yep,
I'm
I
gonna be
like
so
it.
disappointed if we don't get Jake Moody in
Okay.
real life. Just because I think every single mock I've done got Moody. Except for my
Yeah, I think every mock
yeah,
we've done
except the
literally
one
got Moody.
I did a live one with a bunch like 16 people, right? And in that mock, he went a lot earlier. But like early in the fifth, I was like, damn you guys. And it was by my buddy who Who knows? knows about Jake Moody. He ain't supposed to know about him.
Yeah. Okay, so just to recap: pick 6, Will Anderson; pick 18, Bijan Robinson; pick 48, Julius Brents; pick 55, Keanu Benton; pick 81, Sam Laporta; pick 152, Andrew Voorhees; pick 159, Trey Palmer; pick 183, Dorian Thompson Robinson; and pick
That is
194,
that is
Jake
a
Moody.
haul. That is a haul. No trades. That's a
I
haul.
think that is,
I mean,
yes,
oh
that's
man, if
good.
we get Will
That was
Anderson,
fun.
bro,
Things land like that.
bro,
That would be
we're gonna be
amazing.
at the draft party when this happens. So if if we get Will Anderson, that place might blow up. yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
So, but yeah, that was fun. That was good. Got the first one out of the way with trades. I like it. I think overall we got some studs, got some depth, and yeah, and just some solid players.
Yep, I like it. Um, so with that being said, do you want to get into kind of just a few? I mean, like a guy or two at every position that
Yeah,
you
let's do
like,
that.
and maybe
Let's talk about a few at each position, or most of the positions.
yeah. Let me pull up my
Okay, yeah.
notes on here. All right.
So you want to start at
So
quarterback and just go down the list?
that's what I had them
Okay.
categorized with. So, um, you just want to do
We can
one
do a few.
each.
You know,
Okay. I know some
yeah.
positions maybe not quite as many.
Quarterback won't be a lot for me.
Some positions I have one.
Yeah,
Some
no, that's
positions I
cool
have like
because
three. So
quarterback won't. It just depends. Like I feel like corner and edge, I do want to talk about a few guys because there's so many of them. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, those are the ones I have the most of too. So the end I have 4,
yeah,
cornerback I have 4 of just
okay.
guys I really like. So okay, starting at quarterback, then what's the guy or two guys that you
My
like
favorite
the
guy,
most?
my favorite guy is Bryce Young, and I'm gonna talk about him later. He's actually in my list of my guys. So we're gonna give you guys a list of like 5 of our guys that we love for whatever reason, and Bryce is in there for me, bro. If Bryce was 6'3", 220, nobody would quit. He's a lock for the first pick. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he doesn't have an elite arm, but to me, you don't have to have an elite arm as long as you can hit all 3 levels on the field, and he can do that. What I like about him the most, there's a couple of things, but is his ability to extend plays, and he's so hard to bring down. He's so hard to bring down, and he's very accurate and elusive, and I love his mentality. He's poised. Like pressure really don't affect him. Like of course he can elude it, but even when he stands in the pocket, he's still really good. People. I think the biggest thing is not really his size, not like his height for me. It's more just like his frame. Like as long as he don't, take a lot of get a lot of injuries because of his frame, I think he'll be super good. I think he'll be a franchise guy, a great quarterback, honestly. Um, and I just love his mentality. I love how humble and his character. I think he checks all those boxes. He's super likable. There was this play, I think it was his sophomore year against Auburn, and they needed this win. I think if they already had a loss, so if they would have lost, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. And it was third down, and if they didn't get it, they would have lost. And he's just so poised. I think it was third and long. He's just so poised and made the play, got a first down. Stuff like that. He's clutch. So I really like Bryce, and if he was there at 6, some way, somehow, it's not going to happen. But if he was there, I don't think we should trade up for him. But if he was there, I would love it. You know what I mean? I think that would be.
oh yeah,
I mean, behind
yep,
our O line with our weapons, with our run game, that's what I'm talking about. Quarterbacks need good situations to thrive. Play calls, and we have that. Coaches, the things around them, especially a young quarterback. And Bryce would, I think he would thrive. But yeah, Bryce is my favorite quarterback in this class. And then, so I'll give you my second one, and then you. What's up? No, it was a cough. It was a
gonna
weird
sneeze
cough.
or
I have
you got
this
a
like
cough?
weird cough I can't get rid of.
I was gonna
No,
say
it's a weird
bless
call.
you, but it was a cough.
So
Okay,
I'll
go
give
ahead.
you my
Sorry.
second one, and then you can give me kind of your guys.
Yep.
So Will Levis and Anthony Richardson are developmental projects for sure, but a lot of people hate on them. I don't because they're raw, but the tools are there, and you look at the ceilings for prospects, and especially in quarterbacks, everybody wants to find the next Josh Allen, and I think the Lions are equipped to develop one of these guys if they wanted them. But I think um I think my second favorite, ironically, is C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. Um, but even though he was scored low in that one test, that's pretty important. I can't remember the name, but yeah, because
Yeah, that's
they
good.
talk about that's a really important for reading defenses and just progressing, the offense and stuff. So
Yep.
that's a little worrisome. It's like, okay. But I watched his film and I'm just like he probably doesn't have an elite arm, but I think he has a great one. Hit all three levels. And sometimes he just lasers it. He does drop like darts. And there's sometimes he puts in super tight windows.
Yeah.
And he's a good athlete. He didn't do it a lot, but he can extend plays. And he showed it against Georgia. He's good under pressure. I think he can be a franchise guy. I don't know why that test went like that because he seems smarter than that. So I don't really understand,
Yeah.
because that's important. I mean, if you can't read a defense, and that's scary. If you
That's
can't
tough.
do the stuff you need to, like from up here on the field, um, and understanding what the defense is doing, and not being stuck on one receiver, being able to go 1 to 2 to 3, that's yeah, that's scary. But I still do like him, but I don't think the Lions are gonna draft him, and I don't think he may be there, but I still don't think we're gonna draft him. But I think he could be a
Yeah.
quarterback, but
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. And so I didn't have Bryce Young in mind
Okay.
just because I don't think he'll be there. Um, and so the two that I had, and I actually like Will Levis. I just didn't want to overpack my thing. I have C.J. Stroud just because I think he's super accurate,
He is.
and then I like Anthony Richardson because I think he has
Okay.
the
I like
highest
that.
upside. So, I mean, you hit on a lot of both of them, um,
Yeah.
and that's why I
I
like them both. Just because I think that CJ is super accurate. We have a nice
mm,
offensive line to give him time. I think Anthony Richardson has the highest upside,
right.
but he's not ready. So, I mean, I'd be happy if they went with any of those four top
No.
prospects at quarterback. I wouldn't be mad. Again, I think I've said every episode I like Jared Goff, but if they went with a quarterback, I would get it, and
Yeah, and
I'd be happy.
a lot of
So
people would hate on that, but I think we're in a good situation. We're not the same. We're not the Lions from 10 years ago. They're not coming in. It's like not when Stafford came in, that was bad. But you're not coming in a bad situation. You're coming in a really good situation. We have the coaching staff to take on a raw prospect. That's why I keep telling a bunch of guys. I'm like, we can take a raw prospect. That's fine at any position because I feel like we have the coaching staff to do so and the depth. So it's not like he's starting right away. And so yeah, I agree with that. I almost put one of those raw prospects in mind, but then I just went with the top two I thought. But yeah, Bryce Young isn't coming. There's no way he's going number one, and we're not gonna even be able to think about touching him. So
yeah. So all right, running backs. The two that I have are Bijan Robinson. We went in pretty big detail about how special he would be and why we drafted him. The other guy I like is
hmm
Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. I would I'd love to have him.
yeah,
I
you
think
did.
I said his name right. Yeah. Um, I'd love to have. I think he's
Mhm.
almost as good as Bijan, and I think he's super explosive. So I would be okay if I don't know if I want to spend a first round pick on him.
Yeah,
Maybe if we traded back or something. But if he went to the Lions' second round pick,
yeah.
I
If
would
he's there at
definitely snag
48,
him up.
I got the same. Those are my same running backs: Bijan, Robinson, and then Gibbs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
think
they're
it's
both. I think Robinson's special, generational. And I think he can be a superstar, even the best back in a couple years. But Gibbs is not too far behind, like you said. He's really not. Like he's definitely the best receiver in this class. Like I mean, the best receiving running back. But
yeah,
he's definitely he's dynamic on the backfield,
good
but
running back. I know.
he's dynamic as a running back too. So
I
yeah,
like him.
I really like him too. So if he's there at 48, you definitely consider it, man. You definitely do. So
Yep. All right, wide receiver or two that you like, whether it's first round or
um,
second
I
round.
really like Zay Flowers, bro. I Like his route
Yes,
running
I
is
love
so
Zay
good, bro.
Flowers.
He's so crafty, and he's like, man. I mean,
That's one of my
I would
two.
love to see him with Ben Johnson. Like I know we have a guy that plays in the slot, but that don't matter as much. Like Ben can figure it out. Yeah, he is.
He would
So
be a game
yeah,
changer.
Zay Flowers is maybe my favorite receiver, and then um I'd probably say Jackson Smith Njigba is a second favorite. He wants to get in the podcast.
Yes, I know, I know. He and the other dog's staring at me from the stairs. So sorry about that. Yeah, hi, hi,
He said, "Let me
hi.
get in this."
Okay, okay. Hello. Yeah. So those are actually those are my two again. It's again funny that we have the same kind
Yeah,
of guys. I also like Jordan Addison from USC.
yeah,
I'd be okay with him as well. But again, I don't know
true.
if we'll go first one pick on guys. So tight ends. I have one that I like. If we could get him in the second round because of I like Sam Laporta. I like Michael Meyer. I like a few of the guys, Dalton Kincaid, but the one I like that I think fits the offense because he's such a good
Hmm.
blocker is Darnell Washington. If Lions could get him with the early second, I would be very happy because I think he's a game changer with his blocking. And again, he's still. I think we brought this up before every mock draft we've done. When he's there, it's like he's a really good blocker and he's still a nice pass catcher. And I think he'd be good for the offense that we run. So that's the one guy I had sitting
Yeah,
there
I
at
would
tight end
go.
that I really
I
like.
really liked Dalton Kincaid. Like he's a great receiving tight end. I love him as a route runner and what he can do. Um, so I would love him. That would obviously be in the first round, and then yeah, I would say the same. I'd say Washington because yeah, he's 6'7". He's what, like 280? He's huge. How do you move that fast?
He's
For
huge.
it's insane. And he's a Dan Campbell guy. I know he is because he's just the blocking, the toughness. Like he would do some nice things, especially in the play action. I really could see him thriving. So yeah, same tight ends for me.
Yep. Really quick, I have to let my dogs outside. But offensive lineman, I can still hear you. I'll be right back, and then I'll give my two or one.
Okay,
Who do you have as your offensive
so
lineman?
guys, I have um, I'm going to it right now. So I actually think the there we go.
I'll have to let them
So
back
I
in.
think the offensive tackle from Northwestern I really like because you can plug him in at guard too. So yeah, you can really just
Yeah, Skronsky would be
man,
nice.
that would be dominant. That would be dominant. I mean, whew. But we would have to take him at 6, which is impossible, but I doubt it. And then so are we just doing offensive line or are we doing okay.
I just did offensive line. I mean, I think that's yeah,
Him,
that's just how I had it laid
um
out.
Darnell White is another guy that could do kind of the same thing too. And I know the Lions seem to really like him too, so
Yep,
um yeah,
I'd be fine
so
with that. I'd be happy with him.
um
A guy I like too
yeah, I
is
was looking at
Osiris
him.
Torrance too. I just
Yeah,
want to throw that name
I
out
do
there
like
because
him.
I just think he's nice. He's a nice guard. I think he'd be that really nice player to
Yeah.
have as our fifth offensive lineman. So, um, I like him, and then I also like Steve Avila in the second round. If he's there in the second, I don't care
Yeah, I
which
do too.
pick, but I do like him as a second round prospect. So, any other
No,
linemen on offense? I did
yeah,
separate defense, D tackle, and D end. Um, so D tackle, um, obviously I love Jalen Carter. I don't know if he'll be there at 6. I don't know if Lions will
right.
take him if he was there at 6. But I could only imagine having him and Ali McNeil as their D tackles with Hutchinson and whoever else on the other side. I just
It'd be
think it would
nasty.
be almost impossible to do anything on that type of defensive line. And then I also like Brian Brees, but he would be a pick 18 type of guy, obviously. Um, but those are my two guys. I'd love
Yeah,
to have Jalen
Jalen
Carter
Carter,
there.
of
I want
course.
to
Yeah, he's
hear
my number one too, man. If we
if
can get him, that would be nasty because he's a dominant pass rusher too, dominant run defender. He's just he's just a beast. So you put him next to McNeil. Oh my goodness, and Hutch. It would be. It would be
It would
that
be
D, we would have one of the
unbelievable.
best D lines literally this season. I think he's ready to contribute now. You know what I mean? I think he would start day one. So I mean that D line and then
Oh yeah,
Houston side or Pasco, whoever, Perome, whoever. That D line just gonna eat, and it's gonna be it'd be so special watching them. Especially think about it in the pass rush too, but that run defense because Hutch is a good run defender. McNeil is an amazing run defender. Then you have Carter, like that. Our run defense, it's good luck. Like my goodness, you're not going up the middle. It ain't happening. So
yeah.
man, that would be special to watch. And then number two, yeah, oh man, yeah, I got a couple.
I mean, you don't have to have a number two either. I
He's
like
actually mine
Brian
number
Brees
two.
I like him as a late. If Lions went with him at pick 18, I wouldn't hate it. If they traded back, I
Yeah,
would love it. If they got back like mid 20s or something, let's say with that and
he
picked him,
has he has
I'd
the
be really happy
athletic
with that.
ability and
So
the upside to really be. Somebody said Jonathan Allen or a type of interior guy like that. That's probably a ceiling. Like he's super talented.
yeah,
He didn't have the production he wanted last year. But remember, he was hurt 2 years ago, and so. But I like the upside, and he was projected a year ago to be a top 10 pick. But obviously, the season didn't play out like he would have hoped. But yeah, I would love him. Another guy I would love is from Michigan, Mozzie Smith. Probably the best run defender in this draft. Like, oh my goodness, he's a monster. And the way as big as he is, he's super athletic, really quick off the snap. He has pass rush upside. And then two more guys. Cansey, obviously we've talked about him a lot. I really like his upside. Like if he
yep,
can be just a solid run defender, he could be really special. And then Betton from Wisconsin,
hmm
another guy that another
yep.
guy that
Which is why we drafted him
a lot of
in that
people
mock
think
draft.
he wasn't playing at the right position in at Wisconsin. Don't think he should have been playing nose. He did well there, but they think he has more to his game than just really a nose and can really get after the quarterback and all that. And I can see it too.
Yeah,
So yeah, those five. If we got one of those five guys, I'll be so stoked. So yeah,
yeah. All right. Defensive end, I think we're gonna have the most. I'm just gonna go through three because
yeah,
I don't want to overpack it. But there's a ton of guys I'd be fine with here.
yeah,
But Will Anderson obviously would be the dream scenario. I actually love Tyree Wilson too. The only thing that scares me about him is his injury
yeah.
history and having kind of injury concerns. But if they went with him, I would be more than happy. And then I think the first mock draft I ever did was Will McDonald in the second
Okay.
round, which I'd be very happy to have him in the second round. A couple other guys in the first round. I'm sure you kind of have
Yeah, definitely
some of
Will
the same, but I
Anderson.
want to hear what you
I
have to
love
say.
Will and Hutch would just be a nightmare for offensive tackles. But Will Anderson, I actually like Miles Murphy. That's my guy. I love Miles Murphy. Was projected to be a top 5 pick. I think
hmm
he can be great. And then um yeah, I like Tyree Wilson too. He's raw.
Yeah, I like Nolan Smith. I'll throw out one more
Yeah.
name is Nolan Smith.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
like
people
Nolan
compared
Smith
him
as
to
well from
Hassan
Georgia.
Riddick. Like that's the ceiling.
Um,
And I could see it. I could see it.
yeah, I mean, again, a late first round
Yeah.
pick of some sort, I'd be okay with snagging him up. Um, but yeah, I mean, any of those
Yeah.
guys, if we walked away with any of them
And
in the first
Wilson,
two rounds,
he is raw, but he has the traits. Like he reminds me of Walker. But like I said, we can take a
yeah,
type of player like that because we got a guy like Hutch and we have depth, so we can develop him. Even he might not be a guy really we
yep,
rely on this year, but next year, yeah. So I would love that. And another guy is one guy you said, Will McDonald, bro. His explosive his explosive ability off the line, his bend, like oh my goodness, his first step, he's so quick. He has so many good pass rush moves. Um, I really like his. He could be one of the best edge rushers in this draft easily, like amazing speed rusher. So,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. All right. Um, Linebackers, I got two that I would like in the second round.
sure.
Um,
I really
I don't know
like
if you
Jack
want to go
Campbell.
first on this.
I love Jack Campbell, man. So Jack
That's
Campbell,
one of
and
them.
then it's a toss up, but I would probably say Trenton Simpson. So I really like the athlete he is, and um, but I really like Jack Campbell. I
Yeah,
really hope he's lying. He fits. He fits.
I do think that linebacker is not something the Lions are valuing, just because again, when we were doing the mock draft, I think that they love. I mean, they love Anzalone obviously because they signed him to a 3-year deal. I
Yeah.
think that they have two young guys who could really end up being good. But if they walked away with either of those two, and then Drew Sanders from
So
Arkansas is another guy
yeah,
that I like
I
quite a
wouldn't
bit.
be
So
surprised if Sanders is the best
I'd
linebacker
be finding him
out
with
of
any of them.
all of them. Honestly, super good. I would not be surprised at
And
that.
he might be a first round pick too. I would I wouldn't take him
Yeah.
in the first round as a Lion just because of other needs. But
Right.
if he fell to
Exactly.
the second, again, that's a guy that I would definitely take. And then cornerback. There's a lot of guys in here I like. Obviously, Witherspoon's my
hmm
guy. That's one of my guys. I would love to have Witherspoon. Porter Jr. If we got him at 18, I like. I'd also like Banks at 18.
hmm
I like Garrett Williams in
hmm
the third round from Syracuse too, actually quite a bit. If we don't get any of the guys in the first two rounds, I want to say one thing about Gonzalez before you go through yours. I don't want him, and it kind of sounds weird to say because I don't know what podcast I was listening to, but I kind of got vibes from
hmm
watching him talk and everything. He's a great player, but I feel like he more so is like how they put it. He looks like I feel like football is a job for him
Which
and not
we're
something
big
he
on.
loves doing.
So if that is
Which
the case,
Witherspoon,
he
I feel
won't be a Lion for sure because
yes, and I
that's what
think
Brad
Witherspoon
always talks
loves
about. Do they him and
yeah
Dan or do they love football? Do they love football? If they don't love football, they ain't coming here. I don't care how great you are. So that's an interesting one. Um, but yeah, wow, yeah, I
yep
didn't hear that. But if he doesn't, bro, I don't want him because that's just a mess. You know, I don't care how talented you are, and that's what we're big on. Got
yeah
to bring the guys in that fit here. So, but yeah, my corners, a lot of the same.
yep.
Witherspoon, I like Gonzalez's talent, but yeah, if he doesn't love football, bro, then I'm not for that. Um,
That's the only reason why I said that.
okay,
I'm gonna go let my dogs
and
in one more
then
time. So he's going about
yeah, I
20
love
minutes. We'll be back.
Witherspoon. It's insane how much I love Witherspoon. I'm like, dang, I really want this guy on my team. So, which is possible. We'll see. Um, And then I really like Joey Porter and I like Banks. Man, it's a toss up between who's the third corner because it's so close. Banks, he does really like he's an incredible tackler. He can cover. Like I really I like the fit in Detroit with him. So I would love him. And then a day two guy where we just took another mock was Brent's. I really like him. Um his this corner class is loaded. A Cam Smith guy could be there. Ringo, Eli Ricks from Bama. Like there's a lot of corners that have upside. So, um, but if we can get one of those top four corners, I'd be really happy. I'd be really happy. So yeah. Um, and then
I'm back. That was good timing.
he's I did
So you good with
just
corners?
ended
Did you
it.
go through them? And then
Oh, this
in
is hard. I
safety,
really
who
haven't
you got
paid
for
too much
safeties? I got
attention
two
to
that I
safeties,
like.
and plus it's not really that good of a class. Plus we don't really need a safety at all.
No,
Um,
it's not.
Brian Branch. I
Yeah,
mean, if somehow we don't,
that was one of
I
them.
think
He's
we
really
resign
main
CJ. But if we
guy.
don't, if something goes wrong and we don't resign him, he'd be a perfect replacement. I think he's the best nickel in the draft. So, um, and then who, um,
Yeah,
a guy with, I was gonna just throw out a name that
the only
was had
guy. Go ahead.
high upside. He should have came out last year. If he would have came out last year, he probably would have been an early second round pick. But he went from where was he at? He was in the Big Ten. Why can't I? Minnesota. He was in Minnesota. Then he transferred to Notre Dame, thinking he'd raise his draft stock up to a first round talent. Well, no, he's gonna fall, and that's Brandon Joseph. So, um, but he has upside. I mean, if he falls to the
All right.
fifth round, definitely consider it because the upside is definitely there. I mean, like I said, he should have been a high pick last year, but yeah, he didn't come out.
Yeah. The only other guy I had, which it's a third round pick that I
Okay.
had on there was
Yeah.
J.L. Skinner from Boise State. Um, just as a guy in the third round, if they want to grab a safety, if they think he's the best player available, and they go with him, I don't. There's just a name that I know I've liked his tape, and so I just was
Yeah,
like,
I
you know
do
what?
like
If
him.
he's there in the
So
third round, they want
yeah,
to go with
he's pretty
Blake.
good.
Great.
Forgot him.
So
I was just saying, I forgot about him.
and then the
So
last.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah. And then the last position, which
Jake Moody.
I don't even have position
Nah, I
one.
don't
For
even
this,
know.
we'll say it.
I don't
Jake
even know who
Moody,
the other
just 'cause
kickers
we
in the
like
draft.
him.
I don't care. If
We
it ain't
take
Jake
him.
Moody, I don't want him.
Yep. Yep. So those are kind of guys at each position. And now, before we get to our other mock draft with trades, 5 guys that we each that are our guys. So I'll let you. I mean, I'm sure we have a
Yeah.
lot of the same again because it's just guys that we like. Do you want to go through your 5 really quick, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
if it's the same 5 or
So
close, and then we can
5
go
for
player
me.
by player, so we're not like
5 for me would be. This one's tough. But I think. Go
or
ahead.
you want me
Yeah.
to give you my 5 and you tell me if what differences are. So obviously Will Anderson, that's one of my guys. Jalen Carter, Devin Witherspoon,
Wow.
Bryce Young, and Tyree Wilson. Those are my five guys. Yeah, I know Wilson's a little bit surprised, I'm sure, but I'm sure the other 4 aren't.
Yeah, my 5.
Those are my
Pretty
my
close.
5.
So the 5th one I've kind of just been throwing up. The last couple, really. So I don't know what order. Well, I kind of do. Devon Witherspoon is actually my number 1. That's my guy. Give me him. That's my guy. I don't think he's probably not the best player in this draft, but like that's my guy. I would love him. Will Anderson, that's I think the best player in the draft, and he's my guy. Super intelligent too. I just like his character too. I mean, the great football player, great character. He's so easy to root for. Love him.
Yeah.
Him and Hutchinson would be unstoppable. And then Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young. I love the character.
I would
Man,
do it. I mean,
you have
again,
Bryce
I like
behind.
Goff,
You
but I
give
would
him
do
1
anything to
year,
get
and
Bryce Young
he's
as
gonna
a
succeed.
quarterback.
We are in a perfect situation to have, and he's not a raw quarterback. He just doesn't have the frame everybody wishes he had because production was great, talent's great, film was great, he checks the boxes, great character, loves football, like so. If somehow that would be phenomenal. Like I said, if he falls to 6 randomly, I don't know. NFL's crazy, probably not. But if he was there at 6, I would love it if we just drafted him. I would love it. But then I would say Jalen Carter too. The talent is crazy. He's special. And I don't think he has really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I don't think he really has character issues like people think.
Again, I don't know what, and I picture the defensive line as Hutchinson, McNeil, Jalen Carter, and you could fill in anyone on that 4th spot, whether it's James Houston, John Kaminsky, the Aquaras, Pascal, and no matter what, I mean, you're gonna have a hard
That'd
time
be
running
nasty.
on us. You're gonna have a hard time throwing on us. So that's why I
Yeah.
mean.
And my 5th guy is Jack Campbell. I love Jack
him,
Campbell. I would love him. Yeah. Yeah. That's my 5th guy, Jack Campbell.
Really? All right.
Just such a Dan Campbell guy. Got same last name. Miles would take his ass. But no, he just fits so good, and he's just like, I love his game too. So yeah, that's my 5 my guys. So
yeah.
But yeah. So we'll see who we yeah, but now let's get into our mock draft for trades.
All right, so we'll do.
And real quick, let me tell you about this mock draft I did.
End off this wonderful.
Yeah, so this mock draft I did, it was live with like 16 other people.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I had the Lions. So Will Anderson fell to me at 6, right? I took him. And then I traded up to the Bears at 9, all the way from 18. And I got Devon Witherspoon. I was like, bro. And I did give up 48.
I was just going to put that
yeah.
really quick.
Right. So I gave up pick 48 because the guy I was negotiating with, I tried to give up 55. He wanted 48. I was like, okay, it's a few spots. Take 48. So I gave up 48. I gave him one of our 5ths, and I got the 9th pick and a 4th rounder. And I also gave the Vikings 3rd rounder next year to him to trade up, because that's a little bit of a big leap almost 10 spots and get in top 10 from the late almost 20s. So, and then, who did I draft? I think I went defensive tackle in the third round. I think I went Benton or something. Um, can't really remember, but I remember those two picks. I was like, bro, imagine if you get two of the, you get the best pass rusher and the best corner in the same draft. Like what? That would be just home run.
Good. Yeah. So we will go. Do you want me to slow the speed down in case there's some player that we end up wanting to trade up for?
So how do you want to play this? Do we want to trade up from 6 or do we want to stay put? I mean, we did get Will last draft. So, because that's the only reason we're trading up. Yeah.
Yes. So let's probably trade out of it.
Just see. Let's see what happens. See who's there.
Out? It's spinning. What's going on? Okay, here we go.
It was some stupid shit.
Let me restart it. Fucking Gonzalez and Witherspoon were the first two.
That's not happening.
Come on. Like, come on.
Here we go.
All right, let's try this again.
Okay.
All right, that is much more realistic. Okay, so here were the top 5 taken. Bryce Young 1, Anthony Richardson 2.
Oh wow.
Tyree Wilson 3. Sadly, Devin Witherspoon 4. What is that? Some ad that won't stop playing on my computer. Is it gone? Did you hear that?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't? There was an ad playing on my computer. Whoops. Oh, am I always staring at it like that when I'm doing these mock drafts? Yikes. Okay, so Witherspoon, Carter, Wilson, Richardson, Bryce Young taken. So we have.
Was there again?
Will Anderson we could snag if we want to go that route.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, which is surprising. We also have 6 trade offers. That one sucks. That one also sucks. That third one also sucks. That one seems unrealistic, but I would do it. So this one sounds unrealistic, but it would give us draft capital to trade back up. Trade with the Raiders, who are 1 pick behind us, and snag their second, third, and
there's a possibility we could still get Will. But what are they trading up for?
That's the thing. Well, honestly, I'd be happy with Stroud or Will Anderson. I mean, if they take one of the two and one,
and you said I would both corner. Like, what corners are gone? You said Witherspoon's gone. What are you thinking?
Gonzalez is still there. Banks is still there.
All right, do it.
I would take the trade because that's a lot of picks to move up that spot, and then we'll see what they go with.
What is it?
It's gonna be something stupid, I bet. Watch.
Wow.
The offensive tackle from Ohio State.
Yeah, well,
like you're trading up all that.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for Detroit, really.
Okay.
That
was stupid to do that. So, are you wanting
the best player
Stroud or Will Anderson?
And at 18, we can go a different route than we did last mock, just for the sake of it.
So, do you want? I'm just throwing this out there, just because we talked about trading up. I got a feeling we can either stay put and probably get Banks because he's still there. Joey Porter Jr. is still there, so we could maybe wait it out. But C.J. Stroud's still there at 11. You want to try?
So
to trade up
this
for
is pick 11 we're talking
about a quarterback right now.
If we trade up, I would trade up for one of the corners. But then again,
let it go.
One of them probably lasts 7 more picks, right? Okay.
Let's. I'm gonna go pick by pick for a minute, see what gets taken. So receiver.
Okay.
So they're all still there. We're at pick 13. We're at pick 15. C.J. Stroud's still there.
So
Will
okay,
Levis
one of
still
those
there.
guys at
Jerry Porter
18 is
Jr.
falling.
still there. Deontay Banks is still there. So I said, yep, stay there. Stay.
What happened?
Dude, are you kidding me?
No way.
Banks and Porter Jr. were the two picks
Yes,
before
that's
us.
some crazy. That'd be
Both.
heartbreaking.
Yep. Oh my god. Well, at pick 18,
I
C.J.
mean,
Stroud's there.
this
You
is
want
just
to
a
take
mock
him now?
draft, right? Why not?
I'm kind of
Do it.
thinking yes.
I mean, if he
There.
falls to 18, bro, like, you
I'm
gotta
doing it.
think about it. Like, oh, I mean,
No
that's
way he'd.
really good value. Shit. Could have been the second pick in the draft. Could have been the first at one point.
Yeah. Pick 38. This is from the
Hmm.
Raiders. Do you want to snag Jack Campbell because he's there? Dalton Kincaid's still there. Jahmyr Gibbs is there. You like Jack Campbell? He's the better linebacker than Drew Sanders. We already got our edge. Kind of getting. I would definitely go with. I think Steve Avila will still be there the next pick. Maybe I would go
Yeah,
with
let's go. Let's
Kincaid,
go Campbell.
Gibbs, or Campbell. Want to go Campbell? All right, I like that.
Mm.
Kincaid went right before us. That trade sucks. I don't even look at the trades in the last one. That trade sucks. A lot of these suck. Sorry, I'm just. No, we wouldn't want any of these. Like someone's trying.
No.
The Falcons trying to
Just
trade
the
their
third?
third and
No
fourth
second?
for our second. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Bears same. Third and fourth. That's it. And next year's fifth. So no, that's just we'll stay put. Luke Musgrave is there from Oregon State.
Mm.
Steve Avila is still there. I went through and said I like Steve Avila. Let me look at the corners really quick though and see what's there. Again, we pick soon. Brents is still there again. Turner's there again. Williams is there
We
from
could go
Syracuse. That I
guard and then
said
see
I
what
liked
happens.
for the third round if we want to try to wait. Yeah, I like Avila in this spot. Musgrave just went that pick. So we got an offer from the Cardinals for their third, and then their third and fourth next year. That's Panthers offer us a fourth and fifth and second next year. I don't really like that. Eagles offered us their second round pick, which is 7 picks behind us, and their 6th round pick this year.
Not really.
Do you like
So
it?
who's available? Is any corners
Not really.
available
That's
that we
what I
like?
was thinking. Let's see.
Yeah, I like him. I mean,
Brents is
the
still there.
upside.
Do you
Yeah,
want
so
to
yeah,
snag
take
him?
him.
You seem pretty high on him, and I'm fine with that.
So that was our third rounder?
And again, we have another third round pick too, so that's gonna be nice.
Right, okay.
That was our second round pick. Now we have 2 third round picks because of the trades that we got. For the trade we did. So we only have 2 offers. That one, no. I think we're kind of doing a mock draft trading for like this year's picks as far as because it's a mock draft. So the Packers offered us a third and then the third
Yeah.
next year and the fourth
So
next year. But
okay, so what do we got a quarterback, we got an edge rusher, we got a linebacker, we got a corner, an offensive line. So let's peek at defensive tackle, receiver, and tight end. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Benton's there. So I think you're going to want to take him again because we pick again in 11 picks. The receivers, Mims from Oklahoma, Sheen Rice. What about the
yeah? Let's try that.
There.
Let's go either Benton or
with our
a tight end.
Next pick.
Okay.
One. So let's go Benton now, and then we will go with up here.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I say we do Jaden Reed the next pick.
Hmm.
81. We didn't even get any offers that time. So
Right. Stacking
all
up.
right, and now we have a 4th-round pick too, again because of the Raiders. So we will. So right now we got our edge, we got our quarterback, we got a linebacker,
Yeah,
offensive
that's what I was saying.
lineman, corner, D lineman, wide receiver. We probably should still snag a tight end. We should. So let me see if we have any good offers. Before we don't. That's stupid. That's stupid. Yeah, all those are stupid. So we're gonna say no. All right, 4th-round pick. We want to double down at any position before
Okay.
we go any farther. Just there's 2 guys that I like. So
Oh yeah.
Henry
Yeah.
Toto from Alabama, the linebacker. I don't know if I said that well. And then Garrett Williams is there in the 4th round, the corner.
Right.
I don't know. We don't really need a corner. We don't really need a linebacker, but I just like those prospects. Do we want to go with one of those because it's kind of best player available? Do we want to just? I mean, let me look at tight ends.
Just take the best player available.
Not really for
Yeah.
this pick. I mean, we're in the.
You
want to go with
I'd
one
say
of those
Henry.
2? Who do you like more? Okay. So we are on the clock next in about 40 picks. So there's positions that we still haven't touched. I don't think safety is a huge need, but that's one.
Right.
And then tight end and running back. I still think we're going to snag a tight end and running back at some point.
Yeah, we'll look
we
at both.
4 total picks left. So
yeah, I think
a
so.
guy that I know the Lions
think they
talked
have.
to. Haven't the Lions talked to Kendrick Miller from TCU quite a bit? Or am I
Yeah,
wrong?
get him.
He's there, and I think they like him. Do you want to get him right now?
Because it's good
one of
depth.
the top prospects left.
He's just really
And we
talented.
need a running back, so we'll get him there. Yep. All right, so we got that trade offer. Yeah, a lot of these are a lot of picks next year, which I don't like doing for this. Like we're getting offered a 4th, 5th, and 7th for our 5th-round pick right now, but as far as this goes, I think it's better not to do any of that. So that's what pretty much all those are. So we're going to skip that again. Let me look at tight ends and see what's available for this.
Yeah.
I'm not really knowledgeable on late round tight ends. Davis Allen from Clemson, he's there. He's, I guess, a pick that shouldn't be there according to their suggestions. I don't know if you want to go with him. Brenton Strange from Penn State. I don't know if you know him at all because our Michigan fan.
We can go Clemson's tight end just to get somebody in the room.
Do you want to grab a tight end now, or you want to wait still for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got 2 picks left. We already know what one of the picks is going to be.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
pick him right away. I have seen him go before in the 6th round. So let me pick him now with that, and then we have one more pick left.
Really, let's just see the best
Do
available.
you have a position you want to go with, or you kind of just look at what's available? So again, I'm not super knowledgeable about a lot of the late round guys. Brendan Daniels, offensive lineman from Utah. He's there. If we want to go Terrell Smith, no, we already took. No, we didn't. Terrell Smith from Minnesota. If we want to go with another corner, Ronnie Hickman's a safety. If we want to snag a safety, because we haven't yet, he's there. Ryan Hayes from Michigan. Probably don't need another running back.
He's good.
Raheem Jarrett, Maryland wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then you mentioned his name. Yeah, he's a good receiver too. So yeah, do that.
Okay. And that should end it. And I think that's going to be a really good draft too. I know that I don't think we've drafted a quarterback in the 1st round like at all in these that we've done together, but nice to change it up a little bit.
Consider it.
For some godforeseen way, CJ Stroud's dropped.
So yeah, that's a haul though. Trade back, get all those picks, still get Will. Yeah. I mean, that's a haul. So
yeah. Trade it. I don't. Sometimes it's like, I mean, is Las Vegas really going to trade up for a lineman? But So we got Will Anderson at pick 7, C.J. Stroud at 18, Jack Campbell at 38, Steve Avila at 48, Julius Brents at 55, Keanu Benton at 70, Jaden Reed at 81, Henry To'oto'o, however you say that, at 109. Kendre Miller from TCU 152, Davis Allen,
Yep.
tight end Clemson
That's a haul.
159,
I
Jake
mean,
Moody at
you cover
183, and Hakeem
every
Jarrett
need
at
you could think of.
194. Again,
Yeah, that would be.
those
And I didn't think we were going to try to get Will in both mocks, but hey, that's how it
It'd be
goes.
amazing,
It's
so.
the exercise. Yeah. I mean,
If it's falling like that, oh man. So
yeah.
we're only 4 days away, and we're gonna find out then who we're taking and who's gonna be on
Yeah.
our team for the next at least 4 years, hopefully. And
And
I'm hoping that we can. Get
I don't
some
think
more
we're going to
day
keep our
3
picks.
steals
I
that
think either one
Mike
or two things are going to
Brad
happen.
Holmes
We're going to trade either. We might trade up, or you could see us trade for a player or trade and get stuff for next year's draft. Some future picks for next year. So I just don't think we're going to keep all of our picks.
Yeah. I think I said this last podcast.
No,
I would put money
I
down
think
that
we're
the
using
Lions will
that.
not be picking at 6,
Yeah.
18, 48, and 55.
Yeah.
I guarantee
They're going to trade in some way.
So
whether it's trading up,
I
moving back, or trade getting picks for next year. They're going to trade in some way for sure.
Yep. So it's it's exciting
after
times.
The draft.
And then I'm sure we're gonna want to record next weekend. Probably after the draft on Sunday at some point again. So
4 days, guys. It's draft week because Sunday starts a new week. It's draft week. Let's get it. I'm excited. We're gonna be at the draft party the first night. We're gonna be going crazy. So I'm super excited. I need to get these 3 days out of the way right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna be working. It's gonna go so slow too. Come on, Thursday.
I know.
But yeah.
I know. We we took a half day off Thursday. Because we have to drive there, obviously, and it's we're sitting there
ready to go.
The longest 5 hours.
Oh, I'm excited though
because we're just gonna be ready to go. So it's super exciting. Yep, and we appreciate you guys.
So thank you guys. We appreciate your support and watching us. And like always, go Lions! One pride, baby.
Thank you. Absolutely. Go Lions.